Angry guy here, and women will be begging men for Bitcoin. So women will be begging men for Bitcoin. The economy is completely in the gutter right now. Everyone is suffering. Everyone is struggling to survive. People cannot buy food. And women are really feeling the brunt of this. Most of them are living off the simp economy right now. And it's interesting because a lot of men, 30 million men, have dropped out of the workforce. They're staying home, they're playing video games, they're sleeping, they're eating well, and they're disengaging from the economy by choosing not to marry or have children. These men have discovered that they don't need a lot to survive because men don't need a lot to survive in general. So they are living simple lives of luxury. Most men don't want to have a lot of things to clean up. They don't want stress. You know, whenever you go into these homes and you're like you see all of this junk all around you, it's women are the ones who go and buy all of this stuff. The average man doesn't want all of that garbage. And as a result of that, men are saving a lot of the money, their disposable income. They're putting it entirely in investments and in high interest savings accounts. They're earning tons of returns. They're buying rental properties, and then all of that income is also going into further investments. It's pretty insane. And I've said this already. You're seeing these guys who make, let's say, $50,000 a year, but as a result of the fact that they found ways to reduce their cost of living to the point where they no longer have to pay large amounts of rent. When you don't get married, when you don't have children, the prospect of being able to purchase a home cash, like purchase a condo in some places for 70 to $100,000, becomes a reality. And you purchase your condo, and then you only end up having to like pay, like, let's say 300 200 $300 a month, depending on where you live, no more than 500 in upkeep. And because when you own a condo, like there's the association, and like you have to pay for like the upkeep of the building and so forth, but it's usually a very small fee. And as a result of that, these guys are basically living they're living you know without having any significant living expenses. So all of their extra disposable income is just going into the bank, it's going into investments, it's going into real estate. And that money that they're making from this, they're just further reinvesting it. They're putting it into cryptocurrency. They're buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin recently spiked back up. I think it was as of yesterday, which was February 24th, 20, I say 2015, 2024. Bitcoin was back to $50,000 per coin. I remember, purchasing Bitcoin years ago for about $2,000 a coin, and it's kind of crazy to see that Bitcoin is now sitting at that at that amount. And many of you remember, like I was selling my cryptocurrency courses. I have a lot of the courses coming back online for you guys. You guys will be able to pick up the courses and start learning again, because there's so many opportunities to jump back in, and there's a lot of amazing cryptocurrencies that will still allow you to become millionaires, and have lots of disposable income. You don't have to become a millionaire, bro. You just have to. I mean, once you have a couple $100,000 in the bank and you have income coming in on the regular, you can just chill. You really can just chill, you know. And you're seeing that happening right now. But as for women, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's still something that women just cannot do. The average woman cannot go on to an exchange, purchase crypto. She's too afraid to do that. Even going to an ATM, the process, no matter what, it's like there is a learning curve with cryptocurrency, and the average woman does not want to deal with the learning curve. So while while bros are like purchasing crypto using PayPal, using PayPal and Cash App and all these other places where you can buy your crypto, that's the bros. And these economies are huge. They're generating billions of dollars for these companies that are now involved in crypto, but modern women still can't do it because there's still a learning curve, and they're not willing to do the hard work. The average woman doesn't want to have to use her brain. She doesn't want to have to do these things. She doesn't want to have to learn how cryptocurrency works, the different kinds of cryptocurrency. She doesn't want to take the kinds of risks that come with crypto. But where we're heading is literally like this: as the dollar continues to decline due to inflation, the value of crypto keeps on rising. because crypto is limited. It's a, Bitcoin is limited in supply, cannot make more of it. And there's a thing called halvings, and every time a halving occurs on the Bitcoin network, it becomes harder to mine new coins, which then raises the value of Bitcoin. Not just that, a lot of people who hold Bitcoin are passing away. And I've talked about this before, that this is the first time in history where people are taking their wealth with them. I have some of you guys who've literally said to me that you memorized the keys, your the keys to your account. So basically, cryptocurrency keys, they can be like, let's say 11, 12 digits, 12 digits and numbers long, and they're like alphanumeric. So it could be like 1 2 A B 7 9 A 7 E Z Z, and so forth. And you have these dudes who are out here memorizing the keys to their accounts, or memorizing the seed, which allows you to unlock a wallet if you forget the key. And they're memorizing these things, they're storing them in their brains, and they don't give a damn. Like, these guys are pretty damn wicked. Like, I just would not go that far. But a lot of these men, this is how bad they are. They are memorizing these keys, and they don't give a damn. If they forget, they forget, and that money is gone. But they are very happy knowing that even if one day comes and they cannot remember that key, it doesn't matter, because the government will never get that money. And these guys are passing away with those keys, stored either in their brains or in places where they cannot be accessed. For example, they may have a Ledger wallet, and they use a password to log into that Ledger wallet and then access their cryptocurrency. But if no one knows that password, then that's the end of that. And they're taking, and if they're taking their cryptocurrency with them to the next world, and that's the end of it. So this is a serious situation, and women are seeing what's happening, and of course, the application of Bitcoin among women is slow. But as the value continues to skyrocket, and they realize that, okay, this is actual money, and it becomes easier and easier for them to access it, as they translate it to dollars for them, they're literally out there. There are women who are already begging for Bitcoin. And as the economy collapses and gets worse, you're going to be seeing more and women begging for Bitcoin. We can see here, inflation cools, but many Torontons, this is happening in the United States, this is happening in the UK, this is happening in Canada, in predominantly white English-speaking countries, Western English-speaking countries. The inflation rate is destroying everything. It's destroying lives. People cannot afford anything, specifically women, because men are walking away and finding ways to survive and thrive, as I mentioned earlier. It says inflation cools, but many Torontons still cannot afford to eat. Proof is at the food banks, right? As at long last, inflation has fallen. The consumer price index rose 2.9% in January, down from 3.4% in December. That's great news for, well, just about everyone. And of course, guys, you can see, like, these are food banks, and I've talked about how beneficial this is. Like, look at this, guys. Cookies. Do you see these? Condiments. All right. Complete meal replacements. Cold drinks. Gatorade, Coca-Cola, Kool-Aid, crackers. Okay. Guys, they will give you meat, they will give you canned, all of these things. Some of y'all act like you're too proud. Y'all are out of your damn minds. Okay. Guys, you'll pull up your car, and they will give you $300 worth of food. All right. I have my course coming for you guys that's going to teach you how to live, how to do this, how to take advantage of this, because some of y'all are wasting money right now. Some of y'all are wasting money that you shouldn't be spending. I'm just being so honest with you. Okay. Because a lot of y'all, you live on a pretty significant on budgets. But think about this carefully. If it doesn't matter if your entire food bill is $600 a month or $1,000 a month. When you look at what you're purchasing, the fact that you can go to these pantries, these food banks, and you could basically take advantage of this system. This is what it's here for. Because most people are lazy. This is why sometimes are like, never do this type of thing. You should always be out there working. These people are idiots. These people are absolute idiots. Absolute idiots. There was I forget his name. He's always commenting, but this guy is in the military, and he left an interesting comment on my video. I wish I would pull it up for you, because I screenshot all of the comments. But he was in the military, I believe in the Marines, and he said that he basically began experiencing ED, dysfunction, dysfunction. So like his Mr. Mr. Whatever just wouldn't salute, and it was as a result of, I believe, like something that happened in the Marines, and he went to the doctor, and he told the doctor, he explained this to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Drop your pants," and he drops his pants, and he basically ended up with a finger up the bum, and then he went into the bathroom, and he goes, she cracked a joke about it, and he went to the bathroom, cleaned his butt, walked back out, and doctor says, "Okay, I'm submitting this," boom, and he got an extra, like, was it like $155, I think it was like $155 a month on his military benefits, and I want you to think about that. That's almost an extra $2,000 a year. That's almost an extra $2,000 a year. And some of y'all would scoff at that because you think you're too good for that. Let me tell y'all something. In this world, as men, we live very hard lives. We live very, very hard lives. And if you're not willing to do what you have to do to survive and to thrive, then I don't care. I really don't care. If you're too proud to use these places, guys, look at this. These are Ensures. Ensures are in these boxes. Pop-Tarts, everything you could imagine. Everything you could imagine. And a lot of y'all are too proud. You think you're better than this. You want to keep on feeding the machine. Listen, I'm not telling you not to make your money, but you need to be smart about this. All right. If you can save $1,000 a month on your food bill, that's $12,000 a year to invest to just buy Bitcoin, invest in real estate, invest in the stock market, gamble to your heart's content, put it in a savings account and earn a high interest savings account and just earn interest off it. Okay? Because most of you are not going to, if you're a man, most of you are not going to spend it on anything. Because for the guy brain is interesting. Once you have your video games, your television, for many of you don't even want a lot of that stuff. You just don't have, you don't want anything else. And part of that is that you don't want the clutter and you don't want the stress. A lot of men are minimalists because they don't want the stress of other items. They don't want the stress in their lives. Like me personally, most of the things that I own, I can fit into a nice backpack. I just got this MacBook Pro and a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and that is, I will admit, it's so big. It is pretty big, and I would have to like upgrade my backpack, so I have to get a larger backpack. But I mean, like even a travel on suitcase, decent size travel on suitcase is fine, and that's pretty much it, you know. And between aside from my electronics, just stuff my electronics in, and like my clothing. And I can just pick up and take off very, very easily. I can pick up and take off very easily. And I think that's a reality that a lot of women can never appreciate about men. The fact that we can live like this, because they're the ones that are struggling right now. At long last, inflation has fallen. The consumer price index rose 2.9% in January, down from 3.4% in December. That's great news for, well, just about everyone. As Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem said last November, inflation is our common enemy, not only because it creates financial pain and social upheaval, but also because no one wins when inflation is high and volatile. However, this modest fall in inflation will not remedy the damage and precariousness introduced by the events of 2020 and the inflationary run-up it brought about. Sharp rises in inflation create societal risks that a subsequent fall in inflation cannot so easily solve. To be clear, guys, when they say fall in inflation, they're typically not talking about deflation where the prices go down, okay? Because if you have deflation, creates an entire set of other problems. What they're talking about is the slowing of the rise of inflation. So basically, inflation happens year over year. What they're celebrating is the rate of inflation slowing down, not in deflation where the prices start to go down. So what they're saying is, it's not that the prices have gone down, the prices are just going up much slower now. So it's still $18 in some places for a Big Mac, but this year it's only $18. It was $18 last year. This year it's only $18.50. All right, it's not like the previous year where we went from 15 to 18. Now it's 8. Now it's only 1850. And next year it'll only be, maybe it'll be 18, maybe it'll be 19, or 1920, but it's not 1929, but it's not going up as bad as it was before. This is what we have to look forward to. And people cannot survive. A lot of people are just living literally off credit right now. Nowhere is this clearer than Toronto's food bank. The inflationary run that began in 2021 didn't just aggravate food insecurity in Toronto, it transformed the problem into something wholly different and much worse. Food banks now serve a sombering 1 in 10 Torontonians, according to a report. I spoke to Neil Hetherington, CEO of Daily Bread, late last year. At the time, the country looked poised to see inflation fall, just as it is now. This led me to ask Hetherington if he thought recent spikes in food bank attendance might soon fall too. Hetherington said the food bank usage across Toronto is not merely spiking, it has been growing exponentially, and there's no end in sight, no end to this growth in sight. Guys, people are losing their jobs. They're quietly firing right now. The wages are not keeping up with inflation. So this, guys, we're heading for a major financial collapse, and it's quite evident. It's quite evident, but men are weathering the storm. And as I said, you're already seeing women begging men for whatever they can get. They'll take Bitcoin. They don't understand how to use it, but they'll take it. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Women will be begging men for Bitcoin. I want to know your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and share.